You now are listening to the audio podcast of Prisoners of Hope, the antidote to what ails your heart. I'm your host, Dr. Debbora Whitson. So come on in, pull up a chair, and open up your mind as you get ready to receive the download that hope will bring.
Well, hey, it is a great day, and welcome to the podcast. This is the third part of a series entitled Got Mentor, Go Far. In the first session, we covered the benefits of having a spiritual mentor. In the second portion, we uncovered the characteristics of an effective mentor and how we can spot effective mentors. In this last part of this series, we're going to look at strategies to help you find a mentor. So buckle up your seatbelts and listen carefully. Before I get to the topic of how to find a mentor, I want to cover some important facts about mentorship, okay? First of all, mentors are good to have. Have multiple mentors. That's mentors with a S. Matter of fact, if you look at Proverbs 15:22, it says, plans fail for the lack of counsel, but many advisors, they will succeed. So it's good to have more than one mentor. I have a spiritual mentor. I have several. One is an older woman and much older, and then one is my age, much wiser. And also, I have a financial advisor, okay, and I have a nutritional fitness advisor. So it's important to have more than one advisor because one advisor doesn't um, possess all the knowledge. They're not God, okay? So it's very important to have several. Oh, I forgot. I also have a cooking advisor because I grew up in embassies and she really knows how to cook. So I call her when I need help with the recipes or suggestions for menus for special holidays. So I forgot to put that in there. I do have a cooking advisor. Beneficial mentorships, I keep on saying memberships. Beneficial mentorships can be formal or they can be informal. A formal might be you're in a mentorship program, or at work you are assigned to a new employee. You are their mentor, okay? You are their mentor. It could be informal, like just friends you work out with. I got some ladies I dance with, and we mentor each other in various, parts of the body. Yeah, you shouldn't turn your leg like that because you're going to end up with knee replacement or your hip is look like it's going out. Matter of fact, it was so funny when my hip was going out. One of the girls said to me, this is a real good exercise to strengthen your hips. So do this, like even during Zumba, just do this movement. So she was an informal mentor, okay? So they can be formal or they can be informal. Mentors can be contactual, contact, or aspirational. A contactual mentor is one in which you have contact. You have direct contact with them, face to face, or on the phone or the internet. You have direct contact with them. Okay, and aspirational mentorships are ones that you don't have. They have a positive effect on your life, but you don't have direct contact with. It might be somebody who wrote a book that you thought was very interesting, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I really, really, really like that book. There are certain books that are inspirational. Certain speakers, I don't know. I don't know Stephen Furtick one on one, but he is my mentor. I listen to his sermons and I get direction and I get motivation and I get training. So that is what you call an aspirational m- mentor. At any point, you can move from contextual to aspirational, because you don't see, you don't have contact with that person anymore. Or you can move from aspirational to a contextual mentor who you do have direct contact with. According to one study, only 14% of mentor relationships start by asking someone to be your mentor. Did you hear that? Only 14%. However, 61% of those relationships developed naturally. Whether it be formal or informal or whatever it be, great mentors can help you achieve a healthy disposition, a godly disposition, one in which you have a personal relationship with God, okay? So, most people don't ask people to be mentors. It just happens naturally. I mean, God did promise that He has a path for you, and you get off the path, He will make sure your feet don't slumber because He's a God who doesn't slumber. Now, getting into how to find a mentor. How do I find a mentor? You do need a mentor. I'm going to give you 7 different strategies. You can use all of them. They're not mutually exclusive. You can do your own mixture of them, or you can use none of them. But these are some suggestions. Um, you want to start with what you already have. Explore your own personal connections, your own personal network. Think about the people you're currently with. You currently maybe work out with them, or you work with them, or maybe they're formal colleagues. You were in college together or in a college class together, or people you know through any organization, maybe a church or a nonprofit. You're going to, within your network, start with your existing connections. It's easier to talk to somebody who knows you than to talk to a complete strangers. Look for individuals who have achieved what you aspire to or who possess the skills or experiences that you're seeking to develop, okay? You're seeking to develop. Next, ID potential mentors. You want to ID potential mentors by looking for individuals that possess what you want. So ID them, start with your existing connections, then reflect on your relationship with them. Consider who you admire and who you trust and who you might be willing to offer guidance. Now, this is very interesting because this is actually from the mentor point of view. So, as a mentee, you're looking for connections in your existing network. As a mentor, you're looking for who you're going to help. Okay? Who you're going to help. Number 2, attend events and conferences, okay? Participate in the events, workshops, and conferences that are in line with what you're interested with, okay? Are interested about, okay? You're going to, at those conferences, you're going to look for mentors, engage in conversations and questions, and make an effort to connect with individuals who seem like they could be a potential mentor. Okay. So you're going to make connections. Okay. Connections. You start looking for mentors in those connections. And most people fall on this part, and it's follow up. You're going to follow up after attending these events. You exchange numbers, reach out to the people you met, and start building relationships and explore possible mentorship opportunities. Okay, so once you attend, you're going to be active. You're going to attend these events, these conferences, and then get in there and network. Remember, the more you talk, the more you're losing. So you get more power from asking the question and being quiet and letting the other person talk. The reason why you get more power because you know everything about you. You came there to learn something you don't know about. Okay, the Israelites didn't know what it was like once they crossed the Jordan. They had to learn how to deal with the Canaanites, and sometimes they didn't. When you are passing this way for the first time, you need help. Okay, so follow up. And then you can get a more permanent seat in organizations that you might be interested in, our churches, a nonprofit. Actually join the association. Find a relevant group. Look for organizations, associations that relate to what your interests are. I mean, if you want to learn about Jewish traditions, maybe you need to join a group that studies that. Okay. Um, Let me see. Hillsdale College is definitely an aspirational um, mentorship to me because it has all kind of free courses. Hillsdale College .com or .org. You know, you need to check that. But you can get information about, I really like their course on Genesis, so check that out. That is a what you call an aspirational group, okay? Find the groups that are relevant, network and participate. So here again, you got to be proactive. You're going to network in these organizations and participate in maybe if they have discussion panels, maybe they have events, maybe they have fund drivers. Just get in there, get in the middle, get in the mix. Let's get it. Leverage their resources. Um, I tell students that Lincoln is a good platform to look at, and you can leverage the resources of the people in there. Matter of fact, you can look at where people went to school that you might be able to relate to them, and you can leverage that information. Let's say you're going on an interview or you're going on a mission trip. You can look into the organization and formal mission trips they have, and you could find backdoor information, and you could leverage that resource that they developed in country as you will begin to build a bridge for the next mentors or the next mentees that crosses the path. The fourth thing I want to suggest is that you're going to utilize online platforms. You know, you're not going to reinvent the wheel. They are, for example, I really like LinkedIn. You can use LinkedIn to help you professionally, um, to help you spiritually. There's people on there who are spiritual guidance people or mentors. A lot of times, the word internship will be interchangeable with mentorship. Okay, so a lot of times they'll be talking about internships, but basically they're mentorship programs. So be on the lookout for that. Considering using Coursera to find mentors. That's another program. SERA, Coursera. Okay. You can find mentorship programs on that platform. Look for specific um, online programs that are of interest to you. The more specific, the better, okay? Be proactive. There's that word again. Reach out to potential mentors and express your interest in a mentorship relationship. And remember, sometimes the word internship is used instead of mentorship. Be specific and proactive again. Define your goals, okay? Before reaching out to potential mentors, it helps if you clearly define what you hope to gain from a relationship, a mentorship relationship. You want to be specific in your request, okay? When contacting a potential mentor, explain your goals and why you're seeking their guidance. Don't beat around the bush. Don't waste their time. Their time is valuable. Um, Build that relationship. Don't just ask for advice, but engage in conversations. Show genuine interest and build a relationship based on trust and respect. Number six way to find a mentor is that you got to nurture the relationship. Be proactive. There's that word again. That means the opposite of inactive. Actually, uh, take the bull by his horns. Okay, take initiative to schedule meetings, to ask questions, and to seek feedback. Okay, you want to make sure that you're a valuable mentee. What does that mean? That means you contribute to the relationship by sharing your personal insights and experiences and by being receptive to feedback. Be receptive to feedback. You see, the mentor hasn't walked your same path, even though they might be identical twins. So each person has something that they can bring to the relationship. Okay, you want to remember that the mentor relationship is a two-way street. A good mentorship relationship is built on mutual trust and respect and a willingness to learn from each other. Number seven, last but not least, seek out knowledge. Remember, a mentor is constantly seeking information. Develop your reading list. People are like, well, I don't like to read. When then listen to audibles. Get the information down. I have a whole library of books I've read and tapes I've listened to. Um, get the information. Listen to sermons, and I shared with you how Stephen Furtick is one of my aspirational mentors. I don't have direct contact with him. But he is a positive influence on my life. And by listening to him, I learn and I'm able to help other people along the way. Listen to podcasts. I like to listen to podcasts. This is a podcast, so I like to listen to my podcast and other podcasts. Watch YouTube videos. I was telling my sister, she was like, "How did you figure that out? How did you figure out that program?" And you'd be surprised. The YouTube videos will show you how to do almost everything. So check out the information. Seek out the information. Be proactive. Well, that was a lot of information. Let's review. These are some strategies to help you find a mentor. First of all, the book Acres of Diamonds, remember I told you increase your reading list, talked about everything you need you already have. It's already in your backyard. So one step is to explore the networks that you already have. The friendships, the connections you already have. You know, God has your path, and He will, like I said before, send people to help you. God knew and gave you everything you had before you were born. Okay, He gave you everything you had. Notice I said past tense before you were born. He gave you everything. Get in the mix, attend events and conferences. Um, and get in there and network. Join organizations and associations. Get deeper in there. Get next to people who have similar aspirations and can help you. You can help them, and they can help you along the way. You want to utilize online platforms like LinkedIn and also formalize mentorship programs. There are various formalized mentorship programs. This DuckDuckGit or use Google, whatever search engine you can find formalized mentorship programs. A lot of times they call it internship programs, so that can be interchangeable. So you might be looking for an internship, and out of that you get a mentor. Okay, be specific and proactive. Make sure you know what you want. Okay, and you know what you don't want. That's important. Nurture the relationship. It's not one and done. You have to constantly nurture the relationship or it will die out. And then seek out knowledge. Remember, a mentor is one who's always seeking knowledge. As you seek out knowledge, you're going to find God will put a mentor in your path to help you to fulfill the destiny He put you here for. Mentorship is very important. The book of wisdom I call Proverbs, and Proverbs 9:9 says, "Give instruction to a wise man." So the mentor give instruction to a wise man, and he will become wiser. Isn't that interesting? Teach a righteous man, and he will increase his learning. So mentorship is very important in the Bible? Well, I hope this series have given you ideas of how to find a mentor, and that a mentor will help you go further than you would go by yourself. The journey is long. And sometimes when you take people along your journey, it takes longer. But isn't it so much better, so much richer when you have people along the way, even though it takes longer to get there? So go out there, be a mentee, and pass it forward. Be a mentor. My hope is that this journey has been fruitful and you're able to take it and apply it to your life. Until next time, tune in again for the Prisoners of Hope podcast. God bless.